There is a version of you that is waiting to be unlocked. A stronger version. A calmer version. A more disciplined version. A version of you that doesn't collapse when people criticize you, doesn't panic when life becomes uncertain, doesn't beg for approval, and doesn't abandon your goals when things become difficult. But there is one problem. You keep trying to control the world before you've learned to control yourself. You want people to respect you. You want circumstances to go your way. You want your plans to work perfectly. You want everyone to understand you. You want success to come faster. You want life to become easier. But what if the real battle isn't outside you? What if the greatest obstacle standing between you and the life you want is not your circumstances, your enemies, your past, or even your failures? What if it's the version of yourself that you haven't learned to master? Think about how much energy you spend trying to control things you cannot control. Someone ignores you, and you lose your peace. Someone criticizes you, and you spend the entire day thinking about it. Someone succeeds, and suddenly you question your own progress. Something doesn't go according to plan, and your entire mood changes. You wake up motivated, but one negative event destroys your focus. You promise yourself that you'll change, but comfort wins again. This is why the Stoics placed so much importance on mastering yourself. Because once you stop being controlled by every external event, something extraordinary happens. You become difficult to defeat. Not because life stops hurting. Not because problems disappear. Not because everyone suddenly treats you well. But because you stop giving every external event the power to control your inner world. Epictetus understood this deeply. Marcus Aurelius practiced it every day. Seneca wrote about it repeatedly. They understood a truth that modern life constantly distracts us from. You cannot command the world, but you can command yourself. And the person who learns to command himself becomes incredibly powerful. So today, we're going to explore how to master yourself first. Not tomorrow. Not when life becomes easier. Not when people finally respect you. Today. Because the moment you begin mastering yourself, the world loses its ability to control you. And if you stay until the end of this video, you'll have a practical Stoic framework for building discipline, controlling your emotions, protecting your attention, overcoming fear, handling rejection, and becoming mentally stronger. If you're serious about becoming a stronger version of yourself, subscribe to this channel. This channel is about one thing: building a mind that remains strong when life becomes difficult. Now let's begin. 1. Master your thoughts before they master you. Your life often begins changing at the level of thought long before it changes at the level of circumstance. Every action begins as an idea. Every habit begins as a repeated thought. Every reaction begins with an interpretation. Something happens. You interpret it. Then you react. The Stoics understood that the event itself isn't always what destroys your peace. It is the meaning you attach to the event. Someone doesn't respond to your message. Your mind says, "They don't respect me." Someone criticizes your work. Your mind says, "I'm not good enough." You fail at something. Your mind says, "I'm a failure." But notice what happened. The event was small. Your interpretation made it enormous. This is why mastering yourself begins with mastering your thoughts. You don't have to believe every thought that enters your mind. A thought is not a command. A thought is not a fact. A thought is simply something your mind produced. And you have the ability to examine it. When a negative thought appears, pause. Ask, is this actually true? Do I know this for certain? Is this useful? Does believing this make me stronger or weaker? This small pause creates distance between you and your thoughts. And that distance is freedom. You don't have to eliminate negative thoughts. You need to stop allowing every negative thought to become your reality. Your mind will sometimes tell you that you can't. Your mind will sometimes tell you that you're behind. Your mind will sometimes tell you that everyone is judging you. Listen carefully, but don't automatically obey. Train your mind like a disciplined soldier. Give it direction. Every morning, before you touch your phone, spend a few minutes deciding what kind of person you intend to be. Say, Today, I will control what belongs to me. Today, I will not waste energy on other people's opinions. Today, I will respond with wisdom instead of impulse. Today, I will keep my promises to myself. Do this consistently. Your thoughts begin changing. Your reactions begin changing. And eventually, your life begins changing. 2. Stop trying to control what you cannot control. This may be the most important principle in Stoicism. There are things you control. And there are things you don't. Your choices are yours. Your effort is yours. Your attitude is yours. Your response is yours. But other people's opinions? Not yours. The past? Not yours. The weather? Not yours. Other people's behavior? Not yours. Whether everyone likes you? Not yours. Whether someone recognizes your effort? Not yours. Yet people spend enormous amounts of energy trying to control these things. They try to force people to understand them. They try to make everyone like them. They replay conversations from years ago. They worry about what might happen tomorrow. They become angry when reality refuses to follow their plans. This creates unnecessary suffering. Imagine trying to control the ocean. You could scream at the waves. You could demand that the wind stop. You could become angry at the storm. None of it would matter. But you can control your boat. You can adjust your sails. You can choose your direction. That is what Stoicism teaches. Stop fighting the ocean. Learn to steer the boat. The next time something goes wrong, ask yourself, is this within my control? If the answer is no, release it. If the answer is yes, act. That question alone can save you years of unnecessary stress. 3. Discipline yourself when nobody is watching. Anyone can act disciplined when people are watching. The real test is what you do when nobody knows. When you say you'll wake up early and nobody will know if you stay in bed. When you say you'll exercise and nobody will ask whether you skipped it. When you decide to stop wasting time and nobody is there to stop you from scrolling. That is where character is built. Discipline is keeping promises to yourself. Every time you make a promise and break it, you teach your mind that your words don't matter. Every time you keep a promise, you strengthen your self-respect. This is why small disciplines matter. Wake up when you said you would. Finish the task you started. Put your phone away when you need to focus. Exercise even when you don't feel like it. Read when entertainment is easier. Do the difficult thing before the comfortable thing. You don't need to transform your entire life overnight. Start with one promise. Make it small. Make it clear. Then keep it. Tomorrow, wake up and complete one task before allowing yourself to become distracted. Then do it again. And again. Eventually, discipline becomes part of your identity. You stop asking, "Do I feel like doing this?" You start asking, "What did I promise myself?" That's a completely different mindset. 4. Stop being a slave to your emotions. You are going to feel anger. You are going to feel fear. You are going to feel jealousy. You are going to feel sadness. You are going to feel insecurity. That is part of being human. Stoicism does not require you to become emotionless. It teaches you not to become a slave to your emotions. There is a difference. Imagine someone insults you. Your first emotional reaction may be anger. That's natural. But you have a choice after that first reaction. You can immediately attack. Or you can pause. You can breathe. You can think. You can choose your response. That pause is strength. A person who reacts instantly can be controlled instantly. Push the right button, and they explode. Say the right words, and they become angry. Ignore them, and they become desperate for attention. But someone who has mastered himself is different. You cannot easily manipulate someone who doesn't need to react. This is why emotional control is power. The next time anger rises, don't immediately speak. Give yourself 10 seconds. Breathe. Observe what is happening inside you. Ask, what response will I respect tomorrow? Then choose that response. You won't always succeed. But every time you practice, you become stronger. 5. Stop chasing validation. There is a prison with no walls. It's called the need for approval. You post something and check how many people liked it. You say something and immediately wonder whether people agreed. You accomplish something and still feel empty because nobody noticed. You dress a certain way because you want approval. You choose a career because you want recognition. You remain in unhealthy situations because you fear what people will say if you leave. You are allowing other people's opinions to become the measurement of your worth. The Stoics would challenge this directly. Your character does not become better because people applaud you. And your character does not become worse because people criticize you. If you know you've acted with integrity, you don't need a crowd to certify it. This doesn't mean you should ignore all feedback. Wisdom listens. But wisdom doesn't become dependent. There is a huge difference between learning from criticism and living for approval. The first makes you stronger. The second makes you controllable. So tomorrow morning, remind yourself, I will do what is right, not merely what is popular. That sentence can change your life. 6. Turn obstacles into training. What if your problems are not interruptions to your life? What if they're part of your training? Think about physical strength. You don't become stronger by avoiding resistance. You become stronger by facing it. Your mind works the same way. Difficult people can train your patience. Failure can train your resilience. Rejection can train your independence. Uncertainty can train your courage. Loss can teach you to appreciate what you have. Discomfort can teach you discipline. The obstacle becomes the training ground. Marcus Aurelius repeatedly reminded himself to use difficulties as opportunities to practice virtue. So when something difficult happens, change the question. Don't ask, why is this happening to me? Ask, what can I become because of this? That question moves you from victimhood to responsibility. Maybe you lost an opportunity. Learn. Maybe someone rejected you. Grow. Maybe your plan failed. Adjust. Maybe you made a terrible mistake. Take responsibility and become wiser. You don't have to enjoy hardship. You simply have to use it. 7. Become comfortable with discomfort. Your comfort zone is not always your friend. Sometimes comfort is exactly what keeps you weak. If you always choose the easiest option, your ability to handle difficulty becomes smaller. The Stoics understood the value of voluntary discomfort. Not because suffering is automatically good, but because practicing discomfort teaches you that you can survive without constant comfort. Take a cold shower. Exercise when you would rather sit down. Spend some time without your phone. Eat simply sometimes. Walk instead of always choosing convenience. Have difficult conversations when necessary. Do something challenging every day. Why? Because you're teaching your mind. I can tolerate discomfort. That belief is powerful. Once you know you can handle discomfort, fear loses some of its power. You stop being terrified of difficult work. You stop being desperate for constant entertainment. You stop needing everything to feel good before you act. You become capable of doing what must be done. And that is freedom. 8. Protect your attention. Your attention is one of the most valuable things you possess. And modern life is constantly trying to take it from you. Every notification says, look at me. Every short video says, give me another minute. Every argument says, react to me. Every advertisement says, you need this. Every social platform competes for your attention. If you don't protect your attention, someone else will use it for their benefit. Imagine giving your wallet to strangers every morning and telling them to take whatever they want. You wouldn't do that. But people give away something even more valuable every day: their attention. Before you begin your morning, decide what deserves your attention. Your health. Your family. Your work. Your goals. Your character. Your purpose. Don't give the first hour of your day to strangers on a screen. Give it to yourself. Read. Think. Exercise. Plan. Pray or reflect if that is meaningful to you. Sit quietly. Build before you consume. That single habit can dramatically change your productivity. 9. Stop running from failure. Failure hurts. There's no need to pretend otherwise. But failure becomes dangerous when you allow it to define you. You failed at something. That doesn't mean you are a failure. A relationship ended. That doesn't mean you are unlovable. A business failed. That doesn't mean you're incapable. You made a mistake. That doesn't mean your future is destroyed. Failure is information. It tells you something. Maybe your strategy was wrong. Maybe your timing was wrong. Maybe your preparation was incomplete. Maybe the goal itself needs adjustment. Learn the lesson. Then continue. One of the most dangerous habits is constantly rehearsing your failures. You keep replaying the moment. You imagine what you should have said. You wonder what would have happened if you had acted differently. But the past doesn't need your punishment. It needs your wisdom. Ask, what did this teach me? Then carry the lesson forward. Leave the shame behind. 10. Learn to walk alone. There will be seasons of your life when fewer people understand you. Don't panic. Not everyone is supposed to walk every mile with you. Sometimes growth requires solitude. When you're always surrounded by noise, you don't hear yourself think. Solitude allows you to examine your life. What do you actually want? What values matter to you? What habits are destroying your potential? Who are you when nobody is watching? Learn to enjoy your own company. You don't need constant messages. You don't need constant entertainment. You don't need someone constantly telling you that you're doing well. Build an inner relationship with yourself. A person who cannot stand being alone may accept almost anything just to avoid loneliness. But someone comfortable with solitude can walk away from what destroys their peace. That is strength. 11. Master your mornings. How you begin your day matters. You don't need an extreme 5-hour morning routine. You need intentionality. When you wake up, don't immediately surrender your mind to the world. Give yourself a moment. Breathe. Sit up. Think. Ask, what matters today? Then identify the most important thing you need to accomplish. Do that before unnecessary distractions take over. Move your body. Drink water. Read something that strengthens your mind. Review your responsibilities. Then begin. The goal isn't to have a perfect morning. The goal is to start the day deliberately. A chaotic morning often produces a reactive day. An intentional morning creates a stronger foundation. So tomorrow, don't ask, what's everyone else doing? Ask, what do I need to do? Then begin. 12. Remember that you will not live forever. This may sound uncomfortable. But remembering that life is temporary can make you live more intentionally. The Stoics often reflected on mortality. Not because they were obsessed with death. Because remembering death puts life into perspective. One day, this morning will be gone. This month will be gone. This year will be gone. And eventually, your entire life will be a memory. So what are you doing with the time you have? Are you spending it arguing with strangers? Are you wasting hours seeking approval? Are you constantly complaining? Are you postponing the things that matter? Or are you becoming the person you were capable of becoming? Memento mori. Remember that you are mortal. You don't need to become afraid. Become awake. Call the person you love. Do the work. Take care of your body. Forgive when appropriate. Stop wasting time on meaningless battles. Build something meaningful. Because the greatest tragedy isn't that life is short. It's that many people discover the value of their time only after they have wasted most of it. 13. Build a standard for yourself. If you don't create your own standards, the world will create them for you. Social media will tell you what success looks like. Other people will tell you how you should dress. Your friends will tell you what you should pursue. Society will tell you what you should want. But what do you believe? What kind of person do you want to become? What principles will you refuse to violate? Decide. Maybe your standard is honesty. Maybe it's discipline. Maybe it's courage. Maybe it's kindness. Maybe it's responsibility. Choose your principles. Then live by them when it's difficult. Character isn't tested when doing the right thing is easy. It's tested when doing the right thing costs you something. That's why principles matter. They give you a direction when emotions become confusing. 14. Don't waste your life seeking revenge. Someone hurt you. Maybe they betrayed you. Maybe they lied. Maybe they humiliated you. Maybe they treated you unfairly. And now you want them to suffer. But think carefully. If your happiness depends on another person suffering, they still control you. Revenge can become another form of slavery. The Stoic response is different. Learn. Protect yourself. Set boundaries. Walk away when necessary. But don't allow hatred to become your identity. The best revenge isn't destroying someone else. It's refusing to become like them. Become stronger. Become wiser. Become more disciplined. Build a life so meaningful that you no longer need to look backward. Your peace is more valuable than your revenge. 15. Choose your response. You cannot choose everything that happens. But you can choose what happens next. Someone insults you. Pause. Someone rejects you. Pause. You receive bad news. Pause. You fail. Pause. That pause is where your power lives. Between the event and your reaction is a small space. Inside that space is your freedom. The more you practice using that space, the more control you gain over your life. Don't give people immediate access to your emotions. Don't give circumstances immediate control over your behavior. Pause. Think. Choose. Respond. That's mastery. 16. Stop waiting for motivation. Motivation is unreliable. Some mornings you will feel powerful. Other mornings you'll feel exhausted. Some days you'll believe in yourself. Other days you'll doubt everything. If your actions depend on motivation, your progress will always be inconsistent. Discipline says, "I'll do it even when I don't feel like it." That's why routines matter. You don't negotiate with yourself every morning about whether you'll brush your teeth. You simply do it. Build the same automatic relationship with your important habits. Exercise. Study. Work. Read. Create. Rest properly. Repeat. Eventually, what once required enormous willpower becomes normal. That is how you build yourself. Not through one heroic moment. Through thousands of ordinary decisions. 17. Become the person you can trust. Ask yourself, can I trust myself? Can you trust yourself to keep your promises? Can you trust yourself to remain calm? Can you trust yourself to walk away from temptation? Can you trust yourself to continue when things become difficult? Self-trust is built through evidence. Every time you say you'll do something and actually do it, you create evidence. Every time you resist an impulse, you create evidence. Every time you face something difficult instead of running away, you create evidence. Eventually, you look at yourself differently. You stop thinking, "Maybe I can." You begin thinking, "I know I can handle difficult things because I've done it before." That's confidence. Real confidence isn't loud. It doesn't need to prove itself. It comes from knowing yourself. 18. Don't compare your journey. Comparison can destroy your peace. You see someone's success and forget their years of struggle. You see their wealth but not their sacrifices. You see their body but not their discipline. You see their relationship but not their private problems. You are comparing your entire life to a small piece of someone else's. Stop. Your journey is yours. The Stoics emphasized focusing on your own actions and character. Ask, am I better than I was yesterday? That's the comparison that matters. If you improved by 1%, you are moving. Keep moving. Your life doesn't need to look like anyone else's to be meaningful. 19. Practice gratitude without becoming complacent. Gratitude doesn't mean giving up on ambition. You can be grateful and still want more. You can appreciate what you have while working towards something greater. The difference is that you don't make your happiness conditional. You don't say, "I'll be happy when I become rich. I'll be happy when I find the perfect relationship. I'll be happy when everyone respects me. Instead, I appreciate what I have, and I will continue to grow. That mindset creates peaceful ambition. You work hard without desperation. You pursue success without becoming enslaved to it. You enjoy progress without demanding perfection. That's a powerful way to live. 20. Master yourself before trying to master the world. This is where everything comes together. You may want to build a business. Master yourself first. You may want a successful relationship. Master yourself first. You may want wealth. Master yourself first. You may want respect. Master yourself first. Because what happens when you achieve external success without internal control? You become wealthy but anxious. Successful but insecure. Powerful but impulsive. Popular but empty. External achievement cannot permanently compensate for internal disorder. That's why the Stoics started with character. Build discipline. Build emotional control. Build wisdom. Build courage. Build patience. Build integrity. Then pursue external goals. Because when the person becomes stronger, the goals become easier to handle. The 7-Day Self-Mastery Challenge. Tomorrow morning, begin a simple 7-day challenge. For the first 7 days, don't try to transform everything. Focus on mastery. Day 1, control your thoughts. Don't believe every negative thought. Day 2, control your reactions. Pause before responding. Day 3, control your attention. Spend less time consuming and more time creating. Day 4, control your habits. Keep one promise to yourself. Day 5, control your words. Speak less. Listen more. Day 6, control your comfort. Do one difficult thing deliberately. Day 7, control your direction. Review your week and decide what kind of person you are becoming. Do this honestly. Not perfectly. Honestly. Because perfection isn't the goal. Progress is. Final message: nothing can stop the person who has mastered himself. Now imagine waking up 6 months from today. You're calmer. You're more disciplined. You don't react to every insult. You don't chase every person's approval. You don't waste hours worrying about things you cannot control. You keep promises to yourself. You face difficult situations without immediately falling apart. You still have problems. Of course you do. But you're different. And that's the point. Stoicism never promised a life without problems. It teaches you how to become the kind of person who can face problems without losing yourself. That's the real victory. Because the world will always contain things you cannot control. People will disappoint you. Plans will fail. Opportunities will disappear. People will misunderstand you. Life will surprise you. You will experience loss. You will make mistakes. But if you have mastered yourself, you possess something extremely valuable. You possess the ability to choose your response. And that is where your freedom begins. So don't spend your entire life trying to control the world. Master yourself first. Master your thoughts. Master your emotions. Master your habits. Master your attention. Master your words. Master your desires. Master your response to adversity. Master your relationship with time. Master your character. Then step into the world. Not as someone desperate to control everything, but as someone who is prepared for anything. Remember, the world doesn't have to become easier for you to become stronger. You don't need everyone to respect you. You don't need everyone to understand you. You don't need every plan to succeed. You don't need every door to open. You don't need life to be perfect. You need to become stronger than the things that once controlled you. And when you do that, something changes. The insult doesn't control you. The rejection doesn't control you. The failure doesn't control you. The criticism doesn't control you. The uncertainty doesn't control you. The temptation doesn't control you. Fear doesn't control you. Because you've learned to govern the one kingdom that has always been yours. Yourself. So tomorrow morning, before you reach for your phone, take a breath. Look at yourself. And say, "Today, I will master myself. Not the world. Not other people. Myself. Because when you can govern yourself, you become extremely difficult to defeat. If this message gave you something to think about, subscribe to the channel for more Stoic philosophy, mental strength, discipline, and practical wisdom. And don't just watch this video. Practice it. Choose one lesson. Apply it tomorrow morning. Then come back and choose another. Your transformation will not happen because you watched one motivational video. It will happen because you repeatedly choose the stronger version of yourself. And remember, master yourself first. Then the world loses its power to stop you. Stay disciplined. Stay calm. Stay focused. And keep building yourself.